and place that information on file. We had an update on the referendum project. Brad Kunkel from CISA 10 was here and gave us some information regarding that. We discussed the late acceptance of the Start College Now applications, and we had a consensus to move that to tonight's regular board meeting. We discussed the 2021-2022 board meeting dates. Everybody has had a chance to look those over, and those were consensus to move those to tonight's meeting as well. Dr. Eslin gave a presentation regarding ESSER 2 and 3 proposed allocation funds, and we will be moving that to tonight's meeting as well. We also had a discussion regarding the appointment of the Title IX coordinator with Mrs. Grindell's absence. We're looking to move Melissa Giesregan into that position, and that is consensus to move to tonight's meeting. We discussed the 2021-2022 open enrollment applications, and we had a consensus to move that to tonight's meeting. We appointed a board delegate to attend the CISA 11 annual meeting. Michelle Jepson is the volunteer on that. If something happens and she cannot fulfill that duty, Marcia will take her place on that night. Thank you, both of you, for volunteering for that. We had a financial update, and then we convened into closed session. In that closed session, the board approved the restructuring of the Director of Operations assignments and curriculum and instruction additional duty assignments and posting of a half-time receptionist position. And we adjourned at 6:38 p.m. All right. And we're going to move to item 4, community comments. I can't find lots of information. Okay. Per Wisconsin statute 19.83 parent 2 and 19.84 parent 2, the board will allow public comments. The public comment section shall be limited to 45 minutes unless extended by the vote of the board. The 45 minutes public comment section will be divided by the number of people who have signed up, no more than 10 minutes. The community comment section of the meeting agenda provides the members of the community with a chance to speak directly to the school board. It is a valuable opportunity for community members to have questions, concerns, requests, and ideas heard directly by the school board and administration. Participants are asked to step up to the microphone so that everyone is able to hear when you speak. Providing your contact information on the community concern sign-up sheet helps the district follow up on your item. And there are no community comments this evening. All right. Now we're moving to item 5, the discussion and action portion of tonight's meeting. And item A is consider personnel recommendations. Dr. Aslin.
2 resignations: Logan Seymour, middle school social studies teacher, 1 year of service. Julie Andersby, high school media center aide, 1 year of service.
All right. Motion to approve these resignations.
I so move.
In a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thanks to Mr. Seymour and Ms. Endersby for the time they have spent in this district. We really appreciate it. And we wish you luck on your future endeavors. And then we have hirings.
4 hiring recommendations: Susan Z., 0.5 FTE remote Spanish teacher, replacing the EduSeer program in the middle school, recommended by Mrs. Giesregan. Rachel Butcher, high school special education teacher, replacing Angela French, recommended by Mr. Ham. Ryan Smith, 8th grade social studies teacher, replacing Logan Seymour, recommended by Mrs. Giesregan. Teresa Pufall, 6th grade ELA teacher, replacing Ryan Smith, recommended by Mrs. Giesragen.
And motion to approve these hirings?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, welcome to the new individuals to the district and to those that are moving a little bit. Thank you, and good luck in your new positions. So we're going to move on to the acceptance of donations.
So our pattern of just awesome donations coming into our schools continues this month. Donation from the Herb Cole Teacher Fellowship Award from the Herb Cole Foundation. And again, that's in recognition of Ryan McKinney being selected as a Cole Fellow. Donation to Spooner Middle School Physical Education, $6,000. The Cool Water Program grant from Delta Dental to Spooner Middle School. A water bottle filling station, water bottles and toothbrushes for the entire school. Approximate value of $4,500. From Holiday to the Spooner Elementary School, 117 packages of masks, 20 small bottles of hand sanitizer, 5 foaming hand sanitizers, 1 package of alcohol wipes and gloves. Approximate value $500. From Spooner Health to the Spooner Middle School Bike to School Day, $500. From the Spooner Police Foundation, Spooner Middle School Bike to School Day, 5 helmets with an approximate value of $125. And from Donors Choose to Spooner Middle School Physical Education, floor hockey equipment with a value of $537.
I looked for a motion to approve these donations.
I make a motion that we approve these donations. Just want to congratulate the incredible Teacher Fellowship Award to Mr. McKinney. Awesome, outstanding. Also to thank all of our sponsors for their generous donations. I want to also just say thank you.
And a second.
I will second that.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And again, thank you very much on behalf of the district. And congratulations, Mr. McKinney. All right. Now we're going to move on to item C, consider fundraiser requests, and there are no fundraiser requests this evening. All right. Item D, okay. Consider resolution on Department of Public Instruction waiver of hours. So I am looking for a motion to adopt the resolution to request a Department of Public Instruction waiver for hours of instruction and educator effectiveness for the 2020-2021 year due to the disruption of the COVID-19 pandemic.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second.
any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 All right. All right, moving on to item E. Consider the SES 2021-2022 Life Touch agreement. So we're looking to, a motion to approve the one-year contract for the 21-22 school year.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Any discussion? Any questions for Mr. Hopke? No? Okay.
I was just going to ask, how does this one line up with the previous year? Is it pretty identical, or is there an increase, or what was it?
Mr. Hopke, would you come forward?
Actually, it's pretty close to the same.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any further discussion? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right. And we're moving on to item F. Consider the late acceptance of Start College Now applications. I'm looking for a motion to approve the late acceptance of Start College Now applications as presented at the COW meeting.
I so move.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Item G, consider the 2021-2022 board meeting dates. Motion to approve the meeting dates as presented at the COW.
I so move.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right. And moving on to item H. Consider the first reading of Volume 30, Number 1, Neola Policy Update.
I'll
So-
make that motion.
I have to read it first. Motion to approve the first reading of the Neola Policy Volume 30, Number 1 update as presented at the COW meeting.
I'll make that motion again.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Yes.
Okay,
I still have questions on policy 2522, which states that parent of a student under the age of 16 have the right to review. So any students that are 16 and over, a parent has no right to review. And so my opinion is either we change that age to legal guardian or parent that would cover all ages if you have a student here, if they have a legal guardian or a parent, so that they have the right to make sure that they can follow up on their student or their child or people under their guardianship. So I don't know if we need to make a separate motion, make an adaptation to this. I didn't receive any feedback, so I'm,
On the agenda, it states that it's determined the age would need to remain at 16 as the policy states in order to be in compliance with state statute, and the statute is referenced in the background
Yep.
up above.
yep.
we were supposed to get some feedback from, if that is state law, what did our attorney say, or what was the feedback? I
State
did
law.
not,
4330.
4330, parent 4, and it's also, we talked with the Neola representative, correct? So, Dr. Eisen?
Yeah, that's as Mr. Schurz and Mrs. Olson have stated, Mr. Melton, that's, we did, as we indicated we would at the committee of the whole meeting, did bring it back to Neola, brought the question forward and asked for some legal reference on it, and that's what the statute says. Wisconsin statute 43.30 sub 4 is upon request a custodial parent or guardian of a child under the age of 16. That's what the statute calls for.
We do have library policies that direct the approval and the consideration of materials, and the materials in the library are there to support the curriculum. I think we can feel confident that our school library materials are appropriate for that purpose based on our policies that are in place.
I don't think that I would like to be in the position, have our district be the one to challenge the state statute. I think if somebody wants to challenge that law, they can come from a different school district. They have to go along with what the law says.
Is there any further discussion? Mr. Melton, do you have any?
no, I just know as a parent, I know this is obscure, but that's our job. And so that's why I'm following up on it, because I know as my child, I don't care what age he is, to be honest, if there was an issue, I know we do everything due diligence. These things, we never come up until we have that one crazy instant that we got to go to a policy, so it is what it is, so I'm just wanted to make sure that it was a law, that it was as stated, so that it wasn't just what they were,
Something what we were recommending?
what we were recommending or Neola was recommending, that it's actually a state statute.
Yep. Okay. So the motion is to approve the first reading of the Neola Volume 30, Number 1 update as presented at the COW. And we did have a second. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right. And we're moving on to item I. Consider the elementary and secondary school education relief number 2 proposed allocations. I'm looking for a motion to approve the positions, equipment, and materials as presented at the COW. And then I believe there was some additional information.
Yes. So if you'll recall at the committee of the whole presentation, the position of student support specialist, recommendation was for 2 of those positions. And at that time, we were awaiting further guidance on licensure. And we received that guidance after 4:30 p.m. today. So it is updated on that job description, but just very quickly, those positions, regardless of the idea that they're not called a counselor or a social worker, to be able to seek reimbursement on ESSER 2, those individuals would have to have a DPI school counselor license, 7054, or a school social worker license, 7050 listed, or they would have to have a master's degree or a bachelor's degree plus evidence of enrollment in a program leading to licensure for that assignment. So that is the update.
Okay. And do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Okay. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Wait,
Oh,
we have a question.
Yep.
Just one question.
sure.
So if we have teachers who want to take one of these positions, my question is, because it's temporary while we have this, are they going to be allowed to take the position and go back after the funding is gone based on contract negotiation, whatever it is? Just a question.
Yep. So fair question. And it's, it's really, it's one I couldn't give you a pat answer for because this whole ESSER funded opportunity is something new as well. I will tell you that the district has a track record of issuing memorandums of understanding to teachers that have taken limited term assignments, giving them the opportunity to return to a previous assignment when that temporary assignment ended.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any additional questions? Or any further discussion? Okay. So, let's see here.
Roll call. were.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm sorry. I interrupted.
Thank you. Roll call vote.
Yes.
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 I am choosing to abstain from this vote.
Yes.
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 All right. And we're moving on to item J, consider the first reading of the student handbook updates. I'm looking for a motion to approve the first reading of the student handbook updates with additional changes as presented at the COW, I think.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, yep. I'm sorry, discussion.
Yes. I know this is a first reading.
Yep.
Spooner's had a long tradition of having honor roll until just recently, which has been contentious. I believe that in this, for the Spooner High School handbook changes, I would like to see that we continue to have the honor roll and not have it removed. I believe it goes to all our values, our mission statement, our vision, our priorities for our students to excel and exceed. And so I would like to see that not removed. I would like to see that our honor roll language is not removed from the handbook. And I'd like to see it added as that we continue to do honor roll as we have done traditionally in this school.
Mr. Schurz, do you have any information regarding that language that you are removing? And I guess for the purpose of that, if you could explain?
I don't have an explanation because I don't know why it was dropped as far as, recognizing honor roll. So I'd have to look into it. And it wasn't
Okay.
happening when I was here.
Okay.
So, again, I don't know what the rationale is. I'd have to ask some questions and find out some things. So
Okay.
I can certainly do that.
That would be great, because
I would agree with Nathaniel on that.
okay. Mr.
I
Johnson?
would like to take the position that I feel that an honor roll is one more way that we separate our students rather than bringing people together. That students that may be struggling, that maybe aren't on the honor roll, now all of a sudden are identified as having some type of a stereotype or something, that it's really not the public's business to know that certain student is doing well this quarter and maybe not next quarter and then doing well the next quarter. I just feel that it puts too much pressure on students and families that as a district, we should be bringing students together and learning. It is in here that the class ranking is tabulated at graduation, and that would be for the purpose of colleges that would be looking at something like that, how a student ranked. But we all know that students learn at different stages of their lives, and some might be a little bit behind than others. But to separate them, what you're doing is, I understand what you're doing is you're saying we should reward those that are doing well, but inadvertently what you're doing is you're penalizing those who aren't. You're identifying them as a student that might not be doing as well. We might have a certain student that people in the community are watching or know about, that might happen to notice that a certain student is no longer on the honor roll. And that could cause stereotyping in the community.
But then we're discriminating against those that are doing well.
I'm sorry, I can't
But then
hear.
we're discriminating against those who are doing well. So we're not going to say that they're doing well because it hurts someone else.
I don't know how
We've
it would-
always told our kids that it's important to do well in school. We always have. And I'm not saying my kid's the best kid because he's not all the time, but it has proven to him that he wants to be on something and to show that, so he works harder to do it.
I believe that what you're addressing is you're discussing your relationship with your child and what you expect of your child, and I think that's wonderful. What I'm saying is that the community doesn't need to see how your child is doing, good or bad.
Well,
Fine.
under that logic, then we wouldn't recognize any students in the school because we might offend them. I
Correct.
think we've had a long-standing tradition here at Spooner Schools where we do recognize excellence, and because of recognizing excellence, we have people who have done some extraordinary things. That doesn't a slight to anybody else. If they're not on there, they're not on there. We recognize them in athletics, we recognize them in music, we recognize them in the Honor Society, we recognize them at certain events, we recognize them in FFA. We encourage these students to excel well, and to see their name in the paper or printed, or that recognition, I think has helped in some of those things, Honor Society and so on and so forth. And that also, it's something that we take pride in our community. And I don't know why it was removed, because every time this was brought up, I don't remember ever passing that and saying that was because it was contentious. And so I don't see it under that logic, Paul. I just
I don't even.
respectfully disagree. I'd like to see it there because it does hit all of this right here.
I'm just saying, I just feel it's a way to separate people, and I don't think that we should be separating our students. We should be keeping them together as a group.
Okay. Could we table this discussion and first reading of the high school update? Or do you want to, we had a motion in a second, so we
So
need to.
those would, if we were going to table that, pending Mr. Shearer's bringing some information, that historical information forward, then we'd ask those that made the motion and second to amend their motion and second,
Okay, so,
table that.
okay. Okay, so if we were to table this, whoever made your motion, if you would like to amend the motion to table this, just the high school, or do you want the whole? I think just, are you okay with just the high school amendments?
So I think we
Okay.
probably just.
Table the whole
first
thing?
reading.
Okay. All right, so whomever made the motion, if they would like to amend that to table this discussion pending additional information from Mr. Schurz regarding the wording on what's being taken out and why. If you can find that information out historically, what we have done in the past, and then also the second, correct? Okay, so,
I made the motion, and I guess what I'm going to ask is, are you tabling just that 25, 22, or whatever that one was? Is that what the goal was? Or did you want to go with the rest of it and just table that one portion?
this is the first reading of the student handbook updates, not the,
Gotcha.
not the policies.
Well, I made the motion, so you want me to withdraw my motion, is what you're saying?
Yes, please.
I'll do that.
Okay. And withdraw the second? Whoever,
I think it was
Marcia?
second.
Okay,
Okay, I'll withdraw.
okay.
Yeah, that
All right.
said, then you'd entertain a
Which
new
one?
motion.
Okay, so I'd entertain a new motion to table item J, the first reading of the student handbook updates.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you. Sorry for the,
That's all right.
and not quite knowing what's going on. All right, so item K, we're going to consider the 2021-2022 open enrollment applications. So I'm looking for a motion to approve all open enrollment in and out applications as presented at the COW.
So moved.
I will second. Go ahead. Nathaniel has it.
Okay? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. And then item L, consider the Title IX coordinator assignment. I'm looking for a motion to approve Melissa Giesringen as the Title IX coordinator.
I make that motion.
I will second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you, Ms. Giesringen, for taking on that position. We appreciate it. All right, and look at that. Number 6, motion to adjourn.
I make that motion.
I will second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.